Hello, children. Today we will talk about wireless and cloud technologies, chapter 2. Wireless technologies. So, wireless technology, these are invisibly interlinked using wireless technology and can interact with each other to share data and other control signals. So, let us learn about the popular wireless technologies which are becoming popular day by day. So wireless technologies now you are using in today's world, the wireless technology everywhere you can see, whether the laptop, whether the mobile phones, wireless technology is used. So wireless technology, without the need of wire, you can share, you can transfer the data. So in the wireless technology, first one is the infrared communication. In your daily life, many times you use infrared communication. For example, using a remote control, you can switch on off and control the operations of a TV or an air conditioner. So in the infrared communication, you usually operates your AC, TV, these types of devices. So these days, laptops and cellular phones are also equipped with IRDA interface. That means the infrared ports to transfer data and communicate with each other. So in infrared communication, transmission and reception is simple and easy, but the communicating devices must lie close to each other, usually called a line of sight distance, to be able to work. So many times you have seen when you using the remote control of the TV or air condition, you have to lie close to those devices. That means in front of the TV when you are using the remote control, so you have to keep the remote control in front of the sensor of the television and the air condition. Then only these devices send and receive the signals. So Bluetooth technology, as you know all about the Bluetooth, use the short range radio links to connect and replace the necessary of cables. It enables wireless data communication between Bluetooth and enabled devices. So as you know about the Bluetooth, mobile phones usually having the Bluetooth, and also the laptops and other devices are there the Bluetooth, like the headset, printer, many devices, keyboard, mouse are there with the Bluetooth enabled. So Bluetooth uses the short range radio links or radio signals to transmit the data. So Bluetooth, its nature is not designed for heavy transmission and thus would not be suitable technology for replacing LAN or WAN. So if your PC or laptop is not Bluetooth enabled and you want to connect a Bluetooth accessory like the wireless keyboard to it, a separate Bluetooth adapter can be bought from any computer accessory store and fixed in the USB port of the PC or laptop. So Bluetooth adapters are there and available. So now we will see some uses of Bluetooth. So with the help of Bluetooth, you can make calls from the wireless headset, eliminate cables linking computers to printer, keyboard or mouse, hook up MP3 players wirelessly to the two other machines to download the music, set up home network so that person can remotely monitor air condition, oven or children's internet surfing. Call home from a remote location to turn appliance on and off, set the alarm or monitor activity. So these are the uses of the Bluetooth. Now we will see the Wi-Fi technology. Wi-Fi stands for wireless fidelity and is a term for a high-speed wireless access technology. It is a method of connecting any Wi-Fi equipped device having built-in Wi-Fi capability or a Wi-Fi adapter card by radio waves to each other, to a local area network or to the internet without wires. So you all know about the Wi-Fi technology, and nowadays uh, this technology is used widely. So the only condition is that device must be within the range of Wi-Fi signal. So Wi-Fi technology uses the long range radio waves, and the coverage range is sufficiently long. So what is a hotspot? A hotspot is a zone that is enabled with high speed wireless internet access. So hotspots are generally available at convenient public locations such as airports, hotels or restaurants. Using either a laptop or a handheld PDA or mobile phones, you can access the internet at very high speed. Now next after the Wi-Fi, that is the WiMAX technology. WiMAX is a technology standard for long range wireless networking. WiMAX operates on the same general principles as Wi-Fi. It sends data from one computer to another via radio signals. A computer equipped with WiMAX would receive data from the WiMAX transmitting station. WiMAX stands for Worldwide Interoperability for Microwave Access. So here is some difference between Wi-Fi and WiMAX. The biggest difference between Wi-Fi and WiMAX is not the speed but distance. Wi-Fi range is about 30 meters. WiMAX can cover an area within a radius of 50 km with wireless access. So the increased range is due to the frequencies used and the power of the transmitter. Thus, WiMAX technology will be useful to cover a whole city for internet access, and which is much more convenient than putting lots of Wi-Fi hotspots in the city. Now the next is about the GPS, that is Global Positioning System. So as you know about the GPS, that means tracking the location. So the GPS is based on the satellites that allows the user with a receiver to determine the precise coordinates of their location on the Earth's surface. So GPS is a worldwide radio navigation system formed from a constellation of 24 satellites and their ground stations. The ground stations monitor the GPS satellites, checking both their operational health and their exact position in space. So a satellite constellation refers to a number of satellites with coordinated ground coverage. Distance, terrain, weather, and large buildings will act to reduce the maximum range in some circumstances. So the GPS receiver, the user receiving equipment is typically referred to as a GPS receiver. It processes the signal transmitted from the satellites to determine the user's position and other parameters. So like your mobile phone, that is the GPS receiver. So GPS receivers have been miniatured to just a few integrated circuits and so are becoming very economical. So these days the latest advanced mobile phones can act as GPS receivers. So the uses of GPS, so you all know about the GPS. The main purpose of the GPS is the determination of a position or location. So GPS is the first positioning system to offer highly precise location data for any point on the planet. The system's positioning and timing data are used for a variety of applications. So some of the applications are there, the uses of GPS, like including air, land and sea navigation, vehicle tracking, surveying and mapping, and asset and natural resource management. So these are the uses of GPS. Connecting to the internet on mobile phones. So connecting to the internet on mobile phones. So nowadays maximum people are using mobile phones internet. So gone are the days when a mobile phone was used only for talking anywhere. Nowadays, more than talking, it is used for playing MP3 music, surfing the net, sending, receiving emails, taking digital pictures, recording videos, mobile conferencing, communicating with PCs, etc. So smartphones today have specifications like CPU, RAM, storage, space, browsers, email, clients, type of display, keyboard, digital camera and its zoom specification, infrared, Bluetooth and Wi-Fi connectivity. They have almost become miniature versions of computer. You can connect to the internet using a mobile phone with a GPRS, General Packet Radio Service or Wi-Fi connection. So next we will see about the mobile broadband. Mobile broadband is a general term used to describe high speed internet access from the mobile service providers like Airtel, Vodafone Idea, Jio, etc. For portable devices like mobile phones and tablets, if you have a data plan to access internet from your mobile phone using your cellular providers 3G or 4G networks. That's mobile broadband. So now you are using the 3G or 4G. Mainly we are accessing the 4G. So that is the mobile broadband. So 3G 4G mobile broadband technology, third generation, means 3G networks enable network operators to offer users a wider range or more advanced services like wide area wireless voice telephony, video calls, and broadband wireless data, all in a mobile environment. So 3G is considered a high speed or broadband mobile internet access, and in the future the 3G networks are expected to reach speeds more than 2 Mbps. So nowadays we are using the 4. So next one is about the cloud computing. So these days a school seeking solution for its school administration related to computer requirements has two options. So now you all knows about the cloud computing. Cloud computing is actually the internet computing, the use of the internet. So the school can purchase servers, install network, purchase multiple software solutions, and implement this, all bearing a huge cost. This cost will be followed by monthly maintenance cost, salaries of network engineer, hardware technician, and other related costs. A school can hire services from some software solution provider who have this kind of software on their server, and school can use that software anytime from any location by connection to that server through the internet. School can pay that software service provider nominal fee for this on monthly or annual basis. So cloud computing is internet computing, where cloud is the term used for the internet. It is an internet based computing whereby shared resources, software, and information are provided to computers and other devices on the demand. So nowadays cloud computing is used. So you have seen about the school. The school can purchase the servers and install the network, and also purchase the multiple software solutions. A school can hire services from some software solution providers. So a school can pay that software service provider nominal fee for this on the monthly or annual basis. So with the help of cloud computing, now it become easy to uh, access the shared resources, software, and other devices on the demand. So typical cloud computing providers deliver common business applications online that are accessed from another web service or software like a web browser, while the software and data are stored on the servers. So like you can access the Word, Excel, PowerPoint directly from the internet, from the web browser. Google provide the services without the need of the installation of those MS Suite in your PC. You can use directly online the Word, presentation, Excel, those applications. So advantages of cloud computing: people worldwide can access the cloud, that means the internet, provided they have an internet connection. There is no need to spend big money on hardware, software, or licensing fee. You have access anytime, anywhere, making your life so much easier. It takes fewer people to do more work on a cloud, with less time wasted on hardware and software issues. So, cloud storage is a term that refers to online space that you can use to store your data. So, cloud storage provides a secure way of remotely storing your important data. So, Dropbox, SkyDrive, Google Drive are some famous cloud storage providers.